Hi everyone, welcome to your class on cyber laws. Today we are going to discuss the feedback on the last month's writing assignment, and we will share a new writing assignment for you. We will also look at your last week's exercise. Okay, your last week's exercise was on drafting the terms and conditions of an e-commerce website. I'm going to share the exercise on screen so that you have an opportunity to revise what it was about. Yeah. So this is the terms and conditions of an e-commerce website, which has a very unique business model. It is to the model of the website is to sell second-hand products, pre-owned products, and to sell them on a basis of bidding. So no fixed price sales are permitted. Okay. Now I want to let you know why we are doing this. Okay. E-commerce has virtually exploded in the country and globally for different kinds of uh, products and services. You have e-commerce websites available now, and people keep coming up with very unique business models. And so from time to time, these websites need support and assistance in being able to draft their terms and conditions, which is why they're going to be coming to you. Entrepreneurs, businessmen, all of them are going to come to you to advise them on how should their terms and conditions be structured. And from the links in the exercise below, you will see, so we've given you the links to OLX, eBay, and Flipkart, and you will see how exhaustive eBay's terms and conditions are. The reason being that it's a website which allows users to sell to each other. It's a peer-to-peer selling website with the intermediary being eBay. And so the closest, eBay is the closest website which is to the current fact situation. And we have also framed some questions for you based on the terms that were there in eBay's terms and conditions, such as transaction interference and shill bidding, which are in the fourth question. Okay. So the idea was that you get a sense of how you go about drafting this. And this is a very clear piece of billable work that you can do. You can advise people on this, you can give strategy on this, you can draft terms and conditions. Okay, and that is valuable and people will be willing to pay for it. Now, this is really the work that somebody who says, I know cyber law, or I know technology law, I can do technology contracts. If you say that about yourself, then you must know how to draft these kinds of terms and conditions. Okay, and over the duration of the course, you will be drafting terms and conditions for numerous kinds of websites so that you have some practice for that. And it starts with any one website such as this, which is an e-commerce website, and then you can get into variations. So let's discuss now what solutions we have available with us. We have a solution from Kalaivani. Now, it's good that you made the effort to submit your answer. Okay. Now notice, Kalaivani, that in your terms and conditions, there is a lot of commentary. There's a lot of explanation around what is happening. When you are given the exercise to draft terms and conditions, you just have to draft the clauses. You do not need to give an explanation for a reader. This is not an article or a writing assignment. Okay. So you don't need to add the explanations. Now look at this. So let's see the question. The question says, sorry, 1 second. The question here says, draft the terms and conditions for the platform. Ensure you take care of all major concerns that website owners will have, such as prevention from sale of illegal products. So these 7 items that you have listed here are just some of the examples of the terms and conditions. You are free to add in more from your own imagination or from the fact situation, whatever you consider relevant. Okay. Now let's see your first term and condition, which is your first condition is prevention from sale of illegal products. Now you say you've gone into an explanation of prohibited goods has been defined in section 233. Any goods, either it is import or export, on which the subject is prohibited under this act cannot be sold in India. So which act are we talking about, Kalaivani? We are not clear. Section 233 of which act? Okay. Now, the next thing is that you have defined some characteristics of what kinds of goods are illegal or prohibited. But where have you said that these goods cannot be sold on the platform by any user? You need to say that products which fall under the following categories cannot be sold by users on this platform. That is the most important thing. Or if you want, you can write a general clause such as, you can write a general clause saying that products that are in violation of Indian law or cannot be sold in India shall be prohibited from being sold. So I am going to start drafting some clauses so that you understand how it is to be done. Okay. So I'm writing the one on prohibition from sale of illegal products. So it's going to be slow because I'm drafting live and you can see me drafting live, and probably that may support all of you in drafting your clauses, right? So terms and conditions, which is the website name. Do we have the name of the website? You don't have the name of the e-commerce store. Okay. So fresh listings. So first thing I will say is listings of fresh products are prohibited. And I'll say this website is intended for the sale of pre-owned products only. Users no manufacture products. Manufactured products sold for the made available for the first time shall not be sold here. Fixed price listings are prohibited. So all listing price for all sales, all product sales is to be determined on the basis of bidding by users only. A fixed price cannot be placed for the listing. However, now in all these auction-based websites, there is usually a minimum reserve price. So that may be allowed. That's what I'm writing here. Now, so you may or may not know how these sites work, but the important thing for you is how to begin attempting this. Okay. Minimum reserve price must be stipulated for every product. Okay. So these can be the terms and conditions. Like, now notice you have to take care of formatting also. Okay. I have not mentioned the introductory part where you write the name of the website and you write also the name of the user. So it typically will say dash these terms and conditions are executed between and are binding on dash a company incorporated in dash a private limited company incorporated in India. This is an example, okay? Dash having its registered office and you can write something like this. So user accessing services provided by the by I am showing this live, okay? So this will enable you to learn. So then you can format this here. This is a format painter command. When I click here, then I click here, the same bulletin gets copied here. Okay. Now let me see what does the assignment say again. Prevention from sale of illegal products. Okay. So all products that are not permitted to be sold in India. Applicable law in India for and shall not be for sale on the website. Such products include some are, and then you can copy from your assignment which you said. So cigarettes are not prohibited, right, from being sold in India. Products which are harmful for the India, smuggled products and products from the grey market these are not illegal products, these that you have written, fisheries and agricultural products. See, these don't fit in. Sometimes in your write up you write, one second, where are your prohibited products? So sometimes you write things which don't apply or which doesn't mean anything. Like, what does this mean? Classification of standards in the marketing of goods in international market. This doesn't have any meaning. And it's not saying that this, what is illegal about it? I didn't understand. You're talking about classification of standards. So there is no illegality over there. So I'll just give some example, okay? Products that could illegal. So then you can have products which infringe on intellectual property rights of third parties. So in any situation, the decision of the platform on whether a product is prohibited or not shall remain final. Okay. Users who violate this condition and who continue to offer a product after it has been declared prohibited to be offered on this platform may be banned from offering the product for now or for, you can say, perpetually. Okay. Now let's see what again the exercise is. Okay, so this is an example of how you go about writing your clause. I can go on and complete this, but I wanted to do this so that you get a sense of how to go about drafting the terms and conditions. Okay. Now, when you have to look at this, what is transaction interference? What is shill bidding? This is written here, right? Malpractices from these activities, shield the platform from intermediary liability. How are you going to do it? So you are going to say that the user is responsible for all consequences from the listing that are made, and the platform is not. You will have to comply with section 79 of the Indian Information Technology Act. You will need to say that the platform does not exercise supervision or control over what the user does. So you will say platform not liable for activities of users. So we call this the platform here. So I've changed it here. Yeah. Platform is not liable for activities of its users and does not supervise, does not and cannot supervise every activity its users and is not liable for any illegal activity committed by a user. In case it is informed of the same by another user, it can take measures to prohibit such within of any or otherwise illegal activity being committed in a period of 4 working days. Yeah. Now, what's the next one? We'll come to the malpractices part last. Let us write these quickly. So, the platform does not give any warranties on the usability, functionality of the goods of the products. All products are to be verified by purchasers and are to be purchased on the basis of the description offered on the listing of the product. So you can decide how this will work. Warranty may be offered by the individual seller offering the product. In case of disputes, the seller platform may refund the price paid for the product. No, we can just keep it simple like this. This is one version. This is not like eBay because eBay protects your money until a certain day under the Paisa Pay system that it had. So you can claim a refund if the goods don't match the description or they're faulty or defective, right? The platform, if products are faulty or defective, this is the first version. The platform shall not be liable for any loss or damage. Seller indemnifies. Now here is an interesting insight. The platform, your job while making the limitation of liability clause is to ensure that the platform is shielded from liability. At the same time, you also want to ensure that the sellers are also not having unlimited kind of liability. There is a cap on what they are liable for. So let's look at this. The platform shall not be liable for any loss or damage caused to a user. Seller indemnifies the platform and the purchaser for any loss suffered only to the extent of the price paid by the user to the seller over the platform only. Now, if somebody purchases the product outside the platform, the seller is not responsible. The platform is also not responsible. For dispute resolution, you have an arbitration clause in our in the study materials, so you can use that. You should use the home country of the home location, home city of the platform for arbitration. All disputes in connection arising from or out of or in connection with these terms and conditions shall be settled by binding arbitration to be conducted by a sole arbitrator in dash who has the following qualifications. Then language arbitration shall be English and the fees shall be capped at INR dash. Okay. There will the arbitrator can decide the matter on the basis of written submissions only. Award must be passed within 30 days of a dispute. So you take a format printer Courts of jurisdiction shall have exclusive powers to decide any matter in connection with the arbitration. Now we come to the part on the unfair practices like shill bidding and transaction interference. So let's see what eBay says about it. So eBay terms and conditions. See here they have written what is prohibited. So we can use this in our policy also. You can say this, for example. Make the formatting uniform. Then offensive material. Now you don't want to be caught by the plagiarism test, so you will write here or products which may harm the sentiment of any of people of any caste, religion, race or community. Materials. Then there was one more condition here, right? Chance listings. This is very important because you don't want to encourage gambling. So listings that encourage users to gamble. So this clause got updated right now, right? No, there is no perfect clause. Any clause can be updated till any amount of time. But this actually helps. Now, let me find out about shill bidding and share, right? That is what the challenge was. So you're bidding on an item with intent to artificially increase its price or desirability. This is very important. So let's copy this and let's see. Here, what is that? So we will say sale of prohibition of unfair selling or buying practices. The platform identifies certain practices as unfair because they may artificially increase or suppress demand, supply, or the price of goods sold. Products. The execution of a transaction between a buyer and seller or the price at which goods are sold. Okay. Now let's look at this. All such practices shall be prohibited and unfair Examples of such practices are I'm setting criteria here so that influence the execution of on grounds other than market forces. Influence the platform. Facilitate selling of transaction outside the platform of a product platform outside the platform. All practices which have the following characteristics find on the platform. Okay. Now let's look at examples of such practices. We clicked on the Shill bidding policy, right? Let's see what it says. So we can take this so we clean the formatting. Bidding war. Okay, so this is how you do it. Now let's look at transaction interference. Look at this. So one of our assignment terms says that other terms which must be there, right? Any other items you consider necessary. So you could write, for example, consequences. So as you see, I'm doing this live and I'm jumping between clauses, and that will happen because you will keep coming to know of new ways and new things to write so that you adequately meet the needs of the policy. It's not a problem to do that. Feel free and comfortable to do that. Policy can have the following consequences depending on the sole discretion of the platform. So let's look at this. Now we can't keep on copy pasting, right? So how do we figure out that this is the correct thing to do? 1 second. Listing cancellation, limits on any privileges or special status conferred on the seller, suspension of the account of the seller for a certain period of time, perpetual ban to law enforcement authorities. Okay, now here, done. Now let's get back to transaction interference. Let's see transaction interference. So here it says interfering with another member's transaction. So let's copy this and then see what the transaction interference policy is. Now, as you're seeing, I'm copy pasting from time to time and then I'm changing it to give it a superior or more appropriate context for my situation. So, for example, it is these practices, right? For example, by contacting a seller to purchase. So we have the item outside of the platform. Emailing buyers. Now this gives an example, right? You can also look at all the policies of eBay to figure out a more detailed one for yourself. But look at this now. It took us 40 minutes to do, and some kind of structure is there on this, right? So that's how you are supposed to go about it. Now I'm going to look at the next part, which is the writing assignment that was submitted. Writing assignment was submitted by Kalaivani here. Kalaivani's topic was on the, the writing assignment is, one second. This is the writing assignment. The key clauses one should look out for before using an e-wallet in India. Okay, now Kalaivani, you need to ensure that your formatting is very uniform so that it can be posted on a site. The objective of your writing assignment is for us to be able to post it on a website in your name so that you can showcase your expertise on that topic. Over a period of time, that will build a lot of credibility for you when you apply for your jobs and when you shift jobs. People might come to you asking for advice on it also. So what is the question now? You are writing about, so what are the key clauses one should look out before using an e-wallet in India? Then we've given you a hint. Give an analysis on the terms of and conditions of certain e-wallet companies. Now what's happening here? You have given us you've written about advantages and disadvantages of e-wallet. Not required. Right? Again, not required. Until here it is not required. Now here, what have you written? You have written the key clauses of an e-wallet. But what is the question saying? What should one look out for before using an e-wallet? So it is from a user's perspective. You need to ask that what should a user look at? What are the risks for a user? Okay. So you have to frame it like that and you have to take it down into the details. So you can say, okay, confirm that the service provider is registered with the RBI. All service providers must be registered with RBI as per the prepaid instruments directions. Then transactions must be limited to the amount specified in the RBI regulations, in the RBI directions to this amount. Okay, so you need to say that. But now just look at it. Are all of these terms something that a user should be concerned about, or are some of these terms what is the e-wallet's job to look at? See, non-compliance with one or two of the RBI's directions may not impact a user, it may impact the e-wallet. Okay, so that way you distinguish that what is it that gives a risk for the user. We are not looking at what is the obligation of the e-wallet under the RBI directions. We're looking at what is the obligation of the user, because that's what it is written. Key clauses one should look out for before using an e-wallet in India. And then the next part, give a comparative analysis on the terms and conditions of these websites. Why don't you do that? See, there is no comparative analysis on any terms and conditions of any of the websites, but you have an opportunity to do that. The reason we are giving you hints, in fact, is so that when you are lost or don't know what to do, you start using the hint and start writing from that perspective. Okay. Lock the system if the password has done wrongly for more than 2 or 3 times. Why? Who is it important for? If it's important for the user, then you say it like that, no? That data security, and how does data security apply? One of the features of it is that data security or account security. Sorry, not data security only, but security of account. And how does it apply for a user? For a user, it's important that the account must be locked if incorrect attempts are made. Now, you will also have to explain to people why is it important. Because if this doesn't happen, somebody from another machine can access your account. Okay. So you need to explain as to why it is like that. It's not an answer you are submitting for a teacher to evaluate and correct, saying that, okay, you have done this correctly as per the book. No, this is for any layman, any user to understand what is the meaning of this. And people will come with lesser knowledge, with no idea about the subject matter as you do. So all the things you consider obvious, they need to be stated. So you need to write and express that so that people can understand it. But write it on the topic. Do not write in general like advantages of e-wallet and disadvantages of e-wallet. That just goes outside the scope of the topic. Okay. Now here, one thing you could have done was hyperlinked to the RBI directions, then cited their clauses that RBI directions put these conditions and these must be complied with. And for the user, these conditions are important. Then you should have moved on to the Amazon and Paytm and all of those terms and conditions and free charge, because we want to see how you are actually applying the knowledge that is available out there and using the course materials to make custom solutions that may be important for people. Okay, now someone wants to start an e-wallet and they come to you for advice. How will you use your knowledge there of the course and by referring to what is available on the web? We are developing your skills in that. Okay, so make sure you do it like that for the next time. Now for the next 2 weeks, so usually the last writing assignment was given to you for a period of 1 month, but subsequently you will get exercises for 1 week. Okay. However, in the current situation, you have been given one more writing assignment as of today, whose date of submission is 20th September. This is the last time we're giving you more than a week. This is 2 week period, but subsequently you will have only 1 week to write the writing assignment. Okay. So the reason I've given you this feedback is so that you can drill down deep into how to perform the assignments. Okay, and I hope you found the feedback on the drafting assignment to be useful, and also on the writing assignment. Of course, we didn't have the time to revisit the full writing assignment and for me to write that down. But I think from doing the drafting exercise itself, you can have some useful inferences for performing the writing assignment also. In the writing assignment, what you need to do is find out 5 questions that you want to answer in the writing assignment itself. Write those questions down first and then do the research to find the answers to those questions, and keep writing each answer as you find it. Do not go into an open-ended research, that will waste your time. and lead you to be unproductive. Do not do that. Okay.